What is happening, guys? Hope you're all having a great day out there. So today, the Senior Bowl is going to officially get underway, while the practices are going to be officially televised on the NFL Network. There's going to be practices today and Thursday, and the official game is going to go ahead this Saturday. It seems like year after year, the Senior Bowl is just growing in popularity, and they're just bringing in better and better prospects every year. Guys that you'd normally think in years past that would, normally turn down the Senior Bowl and think their draft status is more than set in stone, but we're seeing year after year, guys are using the Senior Bowl as an opportunity to really showcase their talent and solidify themselves as day one or day two picks. And I'm just super pumped to see how these guys are going to do over the week, and especially because the Dolphins are going to be coaching the national team. We're going to have a chance to have a look at some of the best receivers in the class, some of the best offensive linemen, defensive linemen. We're going to get an awesome opportunity here to get our hands on these guys and just really see what they're made of, see how they perform on the field, in the classroom, just get a great picture for how these guys are possibly going to perform in the league. It's just an amazing opportunity for this team and organization. We were 10-6 last year. Now somehow we got the third overall pick, but we all know how we acquired that pick. And to go along with the amazing draft capital, we got an opportunity to coach in the Senior Bowl, and it's just only going to help to improve this team and make us an awesome contender for many years to come. The Dolphins' current roster has a handful of players that performed at the Senior Bowl. Kyle Van Noy was a participant in 2014. He played on the South team after having a very productive career with 25 sacks at BYU. Safety Eric Rowe played in the 2015 Senior Bowl after a 4-year career at Utah, where he had 261 tackles and 3 interceptions. Running back DeAndre Washington, who we got at the trade deadline in 2020, played in the game in 2016. I'm not really sure if DeAndre Washington's coming back. I'm not sure if he's under contract, but he had some nice moments for the Dolphins. But yeah, DeAndre Washington, I'm sure he's not going to be back. Another guy was linebacker Vince Beagle, an offensive tackle Julian Davenport were teammates on the North squad in 2017, and tight ends Mike Gesicki and Derm Smythe, who are now best friends today, were on the North team in 2018. Smythe caught a 27-yard touchdown from Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen in that game. And also, guard/center Michael Dieter performed in the game in 2019, and in 2020, the game featured defensive end Jason Strowbridge, who had a great week that week. I remember Strowbridge really showed some good things last year at the Senior Bowl. And also, defensive tackle Benito Jones and long snapper Blake Ferguson took part in the 2020 contest. So the main reason for this video, I want to talk about the Dolphins national team and the players that are going to stand out on the team. I've got the list here of players that are going to be on the Dolphins national squad, and there's definitely some talented guys the Dolphins are going to get a close look at. So let's start here at defensive line, and the first name that stands out here is Jonathan Cooper, defensive end from Ohio State. He's an intriguing defensive end for the Dolphins. He showed decent ability this year coming back from injury. He definitely isn't a Nick Bosa or a Chase Young coming out of Ohio State, but he definitely has the ability to contribute in the NFL, and I think he could be a decent depth piece on the team. The next defensive lineman I think is really going to stand out is Levi Onwuzurike. I think it is from Washington. He's an interior defensive lineman, 6'3", 290 pounds. He's a perfect versatile piece for the Flores defense. He's an explosive rusher on the inside, and he just really excels as a run defender, and he's incredibly difficult to block one-on-one. He plays with great leverage, and that's what the Dolphins love from the defensive lineman. He's currently regarded as a second-round pick, and I'm sure the Dolphins are going to love working with him. So back to edge rusher, I've got Patrick Jones II here, defensive end out of Pitt, 6'5", 260 pounds. He's got all the physical tools in the world to make it as an impact rusher in the NFL. He's just super explosive, and he's got an incredible get-off. He's a bit of a raw prospect at this point in time, but there really is a lot to work with here. Coach Flo and the staff will have a great opportunity here to get the extended time with an edge rusher that I think is going to go in the second round. And thank God we got 2 second-round picks, because I'd love to take him there. Even though he is raw, I think he's going to kill it in the NFL. He's an absolute beast of a defensive end, and he'd have an opportunity to really develop on a solid playoff caliber team like the Dolphins. He'd be behind guys like Shaq Lawson and Ogba. Patrick Jones, I think, would be perfect for this team. Moving on to Patrick Jones' teammate, we got Rashad Weaver here. Defensive end as well, 6'5", 270 pounds, so he's a little bit bigger than Jones. Also from Pitt, he's an edge rusher that isn't quite on the same level as Patrick Jones, and he doesn't really display the same elite physical traits that Jones does. He will most probably be drafted early, day 3 of the draft. I'm thinking early 4th round. He's a big physical rusher with heavy hands that plays with excellent leverage. He's a savvy pass rusher that can win with a variety of moves in his arsenal. And just watching his tape, he really does a great job controlling tackles at the point of attack. He's another solid pass rusher the Dolphins are going to get their hands on, and he definitely fits the mold as a potential defensive end in this defense. 270 pounds is exactly what the Dolphins love. The next edge rusher to keep an eye on is Hamilcar Rashad Jr. from Oregon State. He's a 3-4 rush linebacker at 6'4", 230 pounds. He's very explosive off the snap. He's kind of just a pure speed rusher, a finesse rusher. In 2019, he had 22 tackles for loss and 14 sacks, which is just tremendous production at the position. In 2020, he really didn't show much. I think he had an injury. I think he only had like 3 sacks, something like that. I can't remember looking at the stats, but in 2019, he was explosive, he was dominant, and I'm sure he could fit into this versatile and just multiple scheme the Dolphins love to employ. The last edge rusher here to keep an eye on is Dalen Hayes from Notre Dame, 6'4", 266 pounds. He's another physical edge rusher that plays with just great power. He didn't have great production over his career for the Fighting Irish, for Notre Dame, but we'll see what he looks like over the coming week. He could show to be a dominant edge rusher, or he could show to be, a flat athlete that doesn't fit the mold for what the team's looking for. So moving on to linebackers here, inside linebackers, I've got Chaz Surratt at the top of the list here. He's a linebacker from North Carolina, 6'3", 230 pounds. He's a very intriguing prospect that played quarterback for the Tar Heels just a few years ago. He's an exciting blend of size, speed, and physicality at the position. He is raw at linebacker, which definitely shows up on tape, but the physical tools are there, which could possibly get him drafted in the 3rd round. The Dolphins are going to have a great opportunity here to get a look at a guy like Surratt, because I definitely think he's going to be polarizing in this draft process leading up to the draft in April, because I think guys are going to love him. I think other pundits are going to hate him. We'll just see where he ends up come April. So moving on to offensive line, we've got a couple great tackles here, and of course Creed Humphrey. I'll start here with Spencer Brown from Northern Iowa, 6'9", 320 pounds. I think it'd be an awesome right tackle for us. He can have trouble at times with speed rushes, but other than that, he's a talented and just humongous tackle that I think would be a perfect right tackle for us, and that would allow us to slide Robert Hunt to right guard. Another great tackle we're going to get our hands on is Dylan Radunz from North Dakota State. He's 6'5", around 300 pounds. He's another talented guy that could possibly have a place on this Miami Dolphins offensive line. He's not a guy that I think would start right away, but he'd be an awesome piece for the offensive line room, and he'd just be a talented depth piece for this team moving forward. But who knows what he might show over the coming week and in training camp for the team, because I think he's going to go in the 2nd round. Dylan Radunz, I think it's pronounced Radunz, from North Dakota State. You guys might have to show me in the comment section how to pronounce that. So moving on to interior offensive linemen, obviously the biggest name here is Creed Humphrey from Oklahoma. He's been a big name surrounding the Dolphins the past couple of years. There's a number of Dolphins fans that would love for the Dolphins to draft Creed Humphrey, and I'm one of them. I think he fits perfect into our scheme. I think he could slide right in beside Eric Flowers and Solomon Kinley, or possibly Solomon Kinley at left guard and Robert Hunt at right guard. But with us signing Eric Flowers to a 3-year, $30 million contract, I think there's a very low possibility that Eric Flowers isn't going to start. But back to Creed Humphrey. He's an awesome, big, powerful center, 6'5", 320 pounds or 330 pounds, I can't remember, but he's a former wrestler that plays with great technique, great tenacity. He's highly intelligent. He knows how to get guys lined up. He knows how to communicate with the quarterback. Creed Humphrey, I would love for the Dolphins to take him in the 2nd round. And we're going to get a great opportunity here to get a look at him at the Senior Bowl, and that's only going to help the Dolphins' evaluation of him during the pre-draft process, and whether or not they want to take him come April. So moving on to running back or quarterbacks, we've got Sam Ellinger here, Ian Book, and Felipe Franks from Arkansas. I don't think those 3 guys are going to make in the league, so we can skim over quarterback. On to running back, like I said, we got Ramondre Stevenson from Oklahoma. I'm a fan of this guy, 6 foot, 240 pounds. He's a nice power back, so he'd be a nice complement to Myles Gaskin and Salvon Ahmed. I watched his tape yesterday, and I think he's going to be a nice power back in the NFL. He's like 240, 250 pounds, but he doesn't move like it. He's a great athlete. and just an awesome power back. I'd love the Dolphins to take him, in the 4th or 5th or 6th round. Another running back here is Michael Carter from North Carolina. He's a talented running back that formed an awesome tandem with Javonte Williams at North Carolina. He's 5'11", around 200 pounds or like 195. But that doesn't take away from him on the field. He's talented, he knows how to get it done, and Michael Carter, he's a great running back for the Dolphins to take a look at here. Oh, and how could I forget? I should have had him at the top of the list here. Najee Harris out of Alabama. We all know what Najee can do. He is incredibly dynamic at the position for a running back, 6'2", 230 pounds. I've just been watching a lot of Najee the last couple days and couple weeks, and man, he's a special talent at the position. All the power, all the speed, all the quickness in the world you'd want from a running back that you could possibly take in the first round. He can catch the ball at the backfield. He's best friends with Tua. They got tremendous chemistry. Najee Harris, I would love for the Dolphins to take him at pick 18. I think he'd be tremendous on the team. He would elevate the offense. He would help out Tua. And with Najee landing on the national team with the Dolphins, we're going to get a great opportunity to find out what he's all about on and off the field. And I think the Dolphins are going to be pleased from what they see, because Najee looks like a great football player. He looks like he's got rock solid character off the field. He's got amazing work ethic. I think the Dolphins are going to love Najee Harris, and they're going to fall in love with him and take him with the 18th overall pick. There's a high probability of that happening. Tight ends, we've got Hunter Long here from Boston College. He's a pretty similar player to Durham Smythe. He can block, he can catch the ball some. Hunter Long would be a great player to draft for the Dolphins if we were to move on from Durham Smythe. So, moving on to wide receiver, another great player we're going to be getting our hands on. Another former teammate of Tua is Devonta Smith from Alabama. We all saw what he did this last season for the Crimson Tide. He won the Heisman. He dominated in one half of football in the national championship game. I think in the NFL, he's going to be a cross between a Calvin Ridley and an Amari Cooper. There's a very real chance the Dolphins are going to take him top 10 of the draft, even though, in my opinion, at this point, I'd rather take Jamar Chase top 10. I think Jamar Chase has got way more elite traits than Devonta Smith does. But the Dolphins are going to get an awesome chance here to get a hands-on look at Devonta Smith. They're going to get an opportunity to get familiar with each other, get a feel for how he performs in the classroom, because he isn't going to be doing any of the on-field activities during the practices. He's strictly going to be participating in the classroom and in the interviews. But being on the national team, we're going to have all the time in the world to spend some great quality time with Devonta Smith, and it's going to help us to make the decision if we want to pair him with Tua for the next 10 years. So, other than Devonta Smith, we got a number of other talented guys here the Dolphins are going to get an opportunity to work with. And I'll start here with Nico Collins from Michigan. He's 6'4", 220 pounds, and he can really just do it all at receiver. He goes up and wins the football. He's surprisingly a tremendous route runner. Just watching his tape, I love what he does out there on the field. He reminds me a lot of Preston Williams, and he honestly could be a replacement for Preston Williams if we were to move on from Williams after this season, because we all know he's had some major injury troubles. The last 2 years, his season's been cut short by injury, and Nico Collins would be an awesome receiver for this offense, because I think he can do everything that Preston Williams does and more. I think he's slightly more athletic, and I think he's got an awesome build that's tailor-made and ready for the NFL. Another guy is Tylan Wallace from Oklahoma State. Just watching his tape today, I'm a huge fan. He's 6 foot, 185 pounds, and I'm just a huge fan of the way he plays the game. He's tremendously fast and quick on his releases. He does a great job getting open, and that's exactly what we need. We need guys that can get open in a hurry for Tua, and guys that can just present great separation on the field, and that's exactly Tylan Wallace's game. He also does a great job in 50-50 ball situations, going up and winning the ball. He's just a talented receiver that I think is going to start from day one. I think he's going to be a great slot receiver for a team this next season. Another big receiver I'm excited for the Dolphins to get a chance to take a look at is Sage Surratt from Wake Forest. He's 6'2", 215 pounds, and I think he's got the full package at receiver. He's a great route runner. He's great getting off the line of scrimmage. He's very dominant when the football's up in the air, and I think that if he has a great week this week at the Senior Bowl, and if he impresses the Dolphins, there's a chance we could take him in the 3rd and 4th round, because I think he's super talented, and yeah, I'm excited to see what he's going to do this week. The 4th receiver I'm excited for the Dolphins to get a chance to coach closely is Dwayne Eskridge from Western Michigan. He's 5'9", 190 pounds. who I think's got the potential to develop into, who I think's got a great opportunity to develop into a great slot option in the NFL. I think he'd be a tremendous slot receiver for the Dolphins. He's got tremendous speed, great quickness. Love the way he runs his routes. Dwayne Eskridge from Western Michigan, I think, would be an awesome receiver for this team. And I think he'd bring some real juice to this offense and would help out Tua tremendously. So that's it for this video, guys. That's all the top prospects that the Dolphins are going to get a great chance to coach at the Senior Bowl this year. A number of guys there. Najee Harris, I'm really excited to see just how much he's going to participate this week. Devonta Smith, the Dolphins will get a chance in the classroom with him, and they'll just get, a number of hours to really get a feel for what kind of a man he really is and just what kind of a football player he can develop into for the team. Nico Collins, a big receiver we could take a chance on. Humphrey, a great center who could start from us right away. And the list just really goes on. We've got a number of talented guys on this national team, and I'm just super pumped, like I said before, for the team to get this opportunity. We got the number 3 pick, number 18 pick. We got 2 picks in the second round. We're a great team already. We're a 10-6 team. I think if we really get it right this offseason, if we find the right guys at the Senior Bowl in the draft, we got a real chance to be a 12 to 13 win team in the coming year. And yeah, the sky's the limit for this team. Let me know in the comments section what you think about these guys, who you're excited to see during the week, and who you're excited for the Dolphins to get an opportunity to get a great close look at the Senior Bowl this year. Like and subscribe if you've been enjoying the content and if you liked the video. And as always, it's fins up, baby. Can't wait to watch these practices. That's all from me.